Okay, so we're on to episode 3 of Amazon's shiny new series, Fallout, based on the popular computer game series. After a promising start with episode 1, it really took a dive into cartoony, muddly mess with episode 2. But thankfully it's redeemed itself with this episode. So, let's get into the episode itself. We start with a flashback to the origins of the ghoul. That's the man with no nose, who seems to be making an old-fashioned spaghetti western. It's a nice enough scene, and it really tries to show us that he used to be a good man at some point back in time. There's some mention of a writer being fired over being a communist, but if that was any kind of social commentary, I didn't really see what it had to do with anything. Anyway, we're back to the present with Mr. No-Nose, and he's taking more drugs to keep himself alive, presumably. Somehow, he's found the guy who Lucy removed the head of, and is off to find the rest of him. I'm guessing he knows what is embedded in the head. It's not really clear to me. Next, we catch up with Lucy, who has the head, and we finally get to see her make use of the Pip-Boy some more. She finds the glowing blue thing embedded in him, and puts the tracker up his nose. I think that's what she was doing. Now it's over to Maximus, and he needs to get his armour fixed. While he's trying to fix it, the Brotherhood contact him over the radio, so he has to pretend to be the original arsehole boss. They do buy his little ruse. He still needs the armour fixed, so he heads back to the nearest town. Sadly, he doesn't have enough caps. Bottle caps are the currency in the Fallout games, in case you didn't know. He heads over to a local place that buy teeth and swap for caps, so he can get the fix. Fortunately for good old Maxi boy, he's left the suit unguarded, and a group of raiders are trying to steal it. He confronts the raiders and gets his ass kicked. In fact, he gets his ass kicked twice. He manages to get himself half inside it and kill most of the raiders. Just as he's back in his new suit of armour, his new squire arrives, just in time to clean his crotch plate, which seems to be a thing that bosses like to do. Back to Lucy for a cute scene with a deer, which unfortunately is cut short by something in the nearby water eating her backpack. Thankfully, she still has the tracker inside, but unfortunately, Mr. Ghoul has caught up with her and wants the head. Mr. No-Nose uses Lucy as literal bait by dunking her in the water until the abomination returns. This is so he can retrieve the head. This almost works, but ultimately ends up with Lucy losing a boot and the Ghoul Man losing some of his drugs. He is annoyed. Back to Maximus, it turns out his squire was one of the guys who used to beat him up when they were training. But of course, since Maxi Boy hasn't left the armour, he doesn't recognise him. They bond a bit while his armour is tweaked and filled up with water and other fluids. Then we get to a great scene back in good old Vault 33. I didn't actually think we were going to ever see Vault 33 again, so that was nice. They're trying to decide just what they should do with the raider prisoners they have locked up. The leaders want to rehabilitate them and integrate them back into society, along with teaching them Shakespeare and calculus for some reason. The little short guy and the blonde girl who lost an eye, and a husband, really aren't too keen. The short guy does raise this, but has to back down and apologise. Oh, and by the way, their water machine is broken, so Vault 33 only has about 2 months of water left. Then we're back to Max and Squire, who are trying to track down their original target, the guy who was missing a head. It happens that they are accidentally tracking the abomination that has the head inside it. They kill it in a truly disgusting fight with some obligatory 1950s music, and now they have the head of their target, along with Lucy's boot. And we end with another flashback to the ghoul showing how he became the mascot for the Pip-Boy and the face of the vaults. Overall, I thought this was a pretty tightly written episode. It flowed together nicely and was generally entertaining throughout. It's nice that we're not getting any ridiculously heavy... It's nice also that we're not getting any ridiculously heavy-handed social messaging in this show. I still prefer Apple's Silo, since it was a more serious look at post-apocalyptic life, but the Fallout games were never that serious, so it does kind of make sense that this contains plenty of humour. Overall, I enjoyed this one. I'm going to reward it 7 out of 10. Anyway, that's enough from me. Please like the video if you liked it, and subscribe for more videos. Leave a comment below if you think I missed something or have something interesting to say. It's always great to read your comments. Thank you.